Howdy ho, guys. We just wrapped up first class, and to get everyone else brought back up to speed, we're gonna start the documentation and placing the documentation together for our Revit project. Now, one of the things I tried this sort of as an experiment last time, and it has some good things and some bad things about it. Truth is that this little thing happening right here on the screen, guys, no offense, it's driving me crazy because I want to see the things on the Revit screen that are behind the window, and I don't like moving that whole big thing around. So, sorry guys, but it's going to go away. And that being the case, that means that now I can make this full screen. And now I've got a little more room to breathe. So here we go. Some of you may remember that we downloaded some information. I've got it downloaded in my OneDrive, but they are the materials that we're using for these classes. And you should have a folder. Come on, open up. There we go. Of course, it's going to be in a different spot here than it is on my flash drive. Anyway, Project 3 instructions and resources. Do I have it here by chance? Yeah, I've got it there. So I'm just going to copy paste it here. There we go. Project 3 instructions and resources. So what we need is this particular family right here, D22 by 34 horizontal. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just left click, drag and drop, bring it into here. And I get this lovely error message that says, can't create this kind of element in this view in the current mode. Basically what that means is I brought a title block into my project file. I'm working in a floor plan view. Revit only wants to create or allow the placement of a title block family in a sheet view. So what we need to do, now that we've brought the title block in, is we're going to create a sheet and we're going to begin placing floor plans and everything else on the sheet. So I'm going to come to my view menu. I'm going to come here and I'm going to say create a sheet. I want the 22 by 34 horizontal title block. And right now it says select placeholder sheets and it says create new. We'll get back to this in a minute. But for right now, we just want to insert this title block. So there we go. There's a title block. It's got our lovely UNT logo. If I select the title block itself, I now have a few things that I can do. Like, for example, this little question mark shows up. Well, that's an editable field. That's data that I can change. In this case, video example. I'll just leave it as video. You know what? Instead of video, let's be a little more descriptive here. There. Those of you who are actually taking this in the courses that I'm teaching, you'll enter course 501 or course 502, maybe class 501 or class 502. Either one, it really doesn't matter all that much. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to zoom in on this section here. Now, I want to keep this sheet number the same, A101. Now, in order to change any of this information, is I will select my sheet, and then I can come up where it says project name, call this Revit project. This particular sheet, A101, is going to be ground floor plan. How about ground, not gound? There we go. Project number, technically this is project number 3 for the class. So I'm just going to call it 3. The issue date, this is going to be the due date. So this is December 12th, 2017. And just put their last name in here under drawn by. Those of you who have rather long last names, if you want to put your first name and your last initials, then that would work as well, because some of you have got hyphenated last names and it's going to be really long to fill this out. So if you have a really long last name, let me show you what this looks like. There we go. You get it too long, and the words are gonna start wrapping around. So in that case, shorten things up as much as you need to. Let's see. In my case, my full name is actually going to work here. If, like I said, if you have a hyphenated last name or your name is rather long, shorten it in any way for you that makes sense, and I'll probably be able to figure out which one is you. There aren't too many duplicate names in the class, but if you're going to put your first name, make sure you include your last initial or initials as well. There we go. And then check by me. Okay. And that part is all, this is done. Everything we've done for this sheet data is completely done. Now you notice over here when I typed in YouTube video, it also put YouTube video over here on the side. That's purposeful, it's intentional. There's information in each of these sheets, and some of it is read only by the sheet, and some of it is actually plugged in at like the level of the entire file, which is every sheet in the project. Now to take our ground floor plan and put it on our ground floor plan sheet, all I need to do is go up into my project browser, highlight my ground floor plan, drag and drop, and place him on the sheet like this. That's it. That's all we need to do. Alrighty. Now I'm going to create some additional plans, but I'm going to do this. I'll go ahead and do the second floor, and then we'll get into some additional information. So once again, I'm going to click Sheet. I still want that 22 by 34 horizontal. We're going to use a new sheet and click OK. So when I zoom in, you'll notice project 3 is there, the Revit project is there. We're using sheet A102 because that is the sequential number of the last number that we used, and Revit is saying, Revit is trying to be helpful. Now, drawn by and checked by can vary from sheet to sheet, because even in a Revit project, in a corporate environment, you can have multiple people working within the same project file. We're not going to get into that for this semester. If we need to go back, if we come back to it later, then we'll deal with it later. But for every sheet, just make sure and put your data in here for every sheet. There we go. And this is going to be the second floor plan. And just like placing the first floor, left click, drag and drop to get the second floor, and place it just like that. There we go. There's our second floor plan on our title block, looking happy and good. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to create some placeholder sheets that will allow us to, let me back that up. We're going to create a sheet schedule, and in that sheet schedule is going to be a list of sheet numbers that we're going to create after we create the sheet schedule. So I'm still on my View tab. I'm going to come here to Schedules and use the drop down, and I'm going to click on Sheet List. And I want to click on the following fields. I want to start with the sheet number, and then the sheet name, and then Drawn By, and then Checked By. I'm going to click on Sorting and Grouping. I want to sort my sheets by sheet number. I'm going to format my schedule. I want my sheet numbers to be center justified. And I want my appearance, I want an outline of wide lines, and I want my title text to be 1/4 inch Arial. And the reason that I did the formatting, that'll show up here in just a minute, but the appearance, these are the same settings that we've been using on our room schedules. So I just want to place this, I want this schedule to look like our other ones did. That's all. So I click OK, and now I have a lovely little sheet list here. And I'm going to create the following items by clicking on Insert Data Row. Now the only time that you're going to see some of these tools is when you're actually in the schedule view. So if I come down to my project browser and I look in my schedules and quantities, you'll see right here I've got sheet list. So I'm going to create some additional spaces here. I'm going to start Insert Data Row A001. Oops, right there, A001. And you notice when I change the number, it automatically changed the order of things there. So this is my cover sheet. I'm going to insert another one. Now you notice that it wanted to continue sequentially with my previously used number, but I'm still going to change this, A100. And this is my site plan. Our next one is not A103, is A201, and it's going to be exterior elevations. A202 is also going to be exterior elevations. Now we're going to create A211, and this is interior elevations. Insert a new data row. This is A301, and this is building sections. One more, A311, and this is wall sections. Now, just as we were dealing with our finish schedules, we can just use a drop down to, instead of having to type everything, since all these values are the same. So instead of typing these in, we can work our way through here, and it's a lot quicker than having to type these things. And theoretically, we could change these all at once, but we have to have the sheets present in the file first. But it would, time-wise, it's really not going to gain us anything. So we've made these changes, and as strange as it sounds, since the drawn by and the checked by are exactly the same in all of our sheets, and these are the complete list of sheets that we're going to use in the project, I can actually turn these fields off. So come down here to fields, click edit, and I can double click on both of those, send them away, so that I'm only left with this. All right. So if we scroll in our project browser, you know that you'll see that we have the ground floor plan and the second floor plan actually in our list of sheets in this project. So what I want to do is I want to create sheets for all the remainder of these items here. It's really, really easy. View tab, click on sheet, 22 by 34 horizontal, select placeholder sheets. Well, these are the placeholders. These are sheets that we've told Revit we're going to create, but we have not yet created. So I'm going to select the top one, hold the shift key, select the bottom one. I want to create all these sheets. Click OK. So you'll notice in my project browser, all these sheets are now created. They're all properly named. They're all properly numbered. If I zoom in, I've got all my drawn by and checked by is sitting there and ready to go. That's basically it for this particular video. We'll see you guys in the next one. We're going to start placing a lot more information on a lot of sheets.